and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to be back. It has been a month. It has been so long since I have talked to you all, since I have made any sort of content. I'm really excited to be back today, and I am going to be doing a chit chatty get ready with me with this bold lip, which was a really last minute decision. And of course, as always, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out, and give this video a huge thumbs up if you did like it. And yeah, let's just get started. I know it has been so long, but I will tell you why it's been so long. Honestly, only really one good reason. Everything else is not that great of a reason, but anyway. I'm excited to be back and share what I've been up to. So I have been working from home for obviously 4 months, you know, with the whole stay-at-home order. I think a lot of people have. So that's been really, really great. I honestly love it. So I have really just always wanted to work from home, especially in the past, I would say like 1.5 to 2 years. I just saw so many people doing it, and I got a chance in my old job to do it, and I just love it. I love the fact that I have control over my schedule, and you know, it's kind of like when you're in college and you have homework and you have projects to work on. You want to do it on your schedule. Like the teacher's not just like staring at you, or you're not like in the classroom, you know, finishing your homework. You have, let's say the due date is like in 7 days. You decide how you want to break up your time. So I really appreciate that about working from home in terms of, you know, just flexibility. But of course, there are so many perks of working in person, collaboration, you know, just you know, having that, you know, human to human interaction. Definitely, I get both sides, but I truly believe that it should be an option to work from home. But anyway, yeah, so that's been really great. I've loved it, but I'm back in the office as of July 1st. So yeah, so that's been interesting. Outside of that, honestly, there has been a lot going on, just like in general, like, you know, everything happening. It's so important to me, you know, with Black Lives Matter and talking about all of these issues that were always relevant and always prevalent. They just have kind of surfaced now, and now things are getting caught on video, you know. So that's kind of where I've been at. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you've seen a huge portion of that. One thing I like about Instagram is it's really instant. It's instantaneous. So that's why I find myself finding it easier to be active on Instagram more frequently, because of the fact that like I can just post and there's no editing involved and whatever. I didn't find it appropriate to, you know, film and post like usual when not only is the country going through such a turmoil and people are, you know, so hurt and broken, but I myself, you know, was going through, you know, just how to deal with my own emotions when it comes to the BLM movement, how to be an ally and not a performative ally. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in today's video was, you know, my stance with BLM and what it means to me, especially someone who is American, someone who's not white, someone who's not black, but is still American and is still, you know, in a country where this is happening and this is relevant. The main reason that it took so long to post this video is because I'm gonna be very honest with you all. I was very nervous and very, you know, just overthinking like what should I say. Like there's so much to be said about it. I want to put everything out there in one video, blah blah blah. And then I remembered 2 months later, aka this week, where, you know, I kind of told myself like, this is YouTube. Like I don't have to put everything in one video. I don't have to talk about every single thing BLM related in 20 minutes on YouTube. That's just not possible, and that's not gonna come out naturally. So that's kind of how I'm gonna treat this video today, and you know, just kind of talk, and whatever comes out comes out. This will not be the last time I talk about it, obviously. So yeah, so if there's something that I don't cover in this video, if there's something that I don't mention in this video, mention it in the comments below. We will keep talking about it. As I mentioned earlier, it's so important for, you know, people, especially myself, to, you know, not let this die down when media kills it, you know, and talk about like actionable steps that we can do to, you know, support a lifelong movement, especially being a lifelong ally. I will be linking all the products that I'm using down below, because if you saw my last video, you will see that when I chit chat, it's hard for me to kind of say what I'm using and then talk at the same time. Hopefully I get better at it, but when I do my makeup, I just like to talk. When it comes to Black Lives Matter, I think what I've found myself doing a lot in the past couple months, outside of actionable steps like signing petitions, you know, getting educated on local and state level, you know, government activity, and when voting opens, you know, I'm in this in my specific state and things like that, and different bills and where people stand. A lot of what I have been doing is honestly just educating myself as well as my family and friends on this whole topic. You know, I think it's really important to understand that even though we may think that we know everything, we don't. I mean, you know, just that has nothing to do with being political or anything. That's just in general, right? Like, one can never know everything. You know, you'd have to be God. It's just impossible. So one of my favorite quotes is actually by Socrates, and it's, "All that I know is that I know nothing." And I think if we go into these, you know, deep topics and very important movements with that mindset, we're really going to help ourselves understand different perspectives and allow people with different perspectives to feel comfortable talking to us. So the reason that I say that is because I have been very interested, involved, and open to educating myself about the BLM movement for a couple years now. I would like to say more, but honestly, like, I don't even feel like I can say that, because I've just honestly been learning the most about it recently. And that is sad to say. That is sad to say that I wasn't even exposed to the struggles of, you know, a certain population of people in my country until like the past, like, you know, 3 or 4 years. So as much of an eye roll as that is, you know, that's not something that I'm going to, you know, just sulk on and put all my energy towards, but instead just work on how can I be part of the solution and how can I end on the right side of history. A lot of what I've been doing is just understanding why, you know, people feel the need every time Black Lives Matter comes up to talk about like other issues. Like, you know, every time I will hear like, oh, it's not just Black lives, it's all lives matter. Or what about Black on Black crime, which I will talk about later. Why do so many people feel the need to make it seem as if highlighting Black Lives Matter means that we're shadowing other issues? If you ever hear someone that's going on a march for breast cancer, like, you never hear people say like, oh, but pancreatic cancer is important too. Like, you never hear that narrative. Sorry, my camera was being weird. But I only really hear that when it comes to Black Lives Mattering. Like, I just don't understand how that always comes about. And what I've kind of been talking about, like, in my platform is, you know, if we're talking about Black Lives Mattering, people need to understand that all of the call to actions that, you know, the BLM movement is calling for is going to benefit everyone. It's going to then go into poor cities. It's going to, you know, go into healthcare. It's going to go into all of these things that other people are also dealing with. It's also going to protect anyone that's unarmed, you know, not just black people that are unarmed. It's going to help anyone that's unarmed to not have to worry about getting shot by the police. So that's what I've really been into, is, you know, just trying to, you know, share how fighting for a group of people's lives is not taking away from your experience as whatever you identify with. And it's actually an amazing opportunity to be on the right side of history and to be part of something bigger than yourself. And I think it's also a responsibility that I feel as, you know, an Indian American who has a lot of South Asian following on social media, and as well as my family is obviously South Asian. So I think it's really important for me to just shed light, you know, with those family members and friends and talk about how it's not just something that's, you know, only going to benefit Black people. Even though the fact that I have to say that is very sad, the fact that people have to understand what's the gain in it for me, what's in it for me, why should I support Black Lives Matter? That's really heartbreaking that, you know, people have to kind of be convinced to care about someone else's life. But regardless, I think that's still a reality. People do have to be convinced, and it's okay, you know, at the end of the day, I also have to remind myself, and our history unfortunately has conditioned us to, you know, just not care unless it affects us, you know, that individual mentality of unless it affects me or my family, then it's the other person's problem. So it's unlearning a lot of things that we learned. The reason why this relates back to me not posting is because I got a little overwhelmed, you know. Actually, I got very overwhelmed, and I think that it was kind of a blessing in disguise because it really showed me that, one, being an ally is not just being vocal when everyone else is being vocal, and it's not just being in the limelight when everyone else is in the limelight. I think when the whole thing erupted with George Floyd and, you know, everything went viral, it's inevitable that you're gonna get emotional, you're gonna get riled up. You have this adrenaline rush of like, what can I do? How can I do it? And you know, what is in it for me, like, or not what's in it for me, but like, how can I help? So that happened to me, and I would say for the first like for a solid 2 weeks, I was just go. I was reading like every article. I was, you know, touching base with like previous, you know, conferences that I have been to about diversity and inclusion and you know, racism in corporate or in the workplace. I was like putting notes on in my phone. I was reposting everything you could think of. I was having deep conversations with dad, mom, friends, you know, coworkers, people, like go. And I broke. It was because I was not thinking big picture. And this is the point that I think I want to drive home in today's video. Obviously, I'm doing everything impromptu right now, so there might be another point that I want to drive home. But being an ally is being an ally for life. It's not being an ally for 2020. So when people say, I can't wait for 2020 to be over, I get it. I know they're not saying it with any bad intentions, but I'm not waiting for 2020 to be over, because when 2020 is over, this issue will still remain. This movement will still remain. Me being an ally will still be relevant. It took the next month, honestly, like the next month, to just figure out a rhythm and to look at being an ally of the Black Lives Matter movement as something that was for the long haul. And I feel like I always thought in my head, like, oh, I'm in it for the long haul, but my actions were not proving it. You know, I was like hammering down on people, my like closest friends, not like people like randos, but you know, like my best friends or my parents. And that's what it's been about, you know, taking rest, still understanding that you can be a part of a movement and still have other things going on in your life. Like I completely put work secondary. I put my mental health secondary, and that's not a good ally, because that means I'm gonna burn out and I will be so useless down the road. How like if you're, you know, going to be an ally, sorry, you all know from my last video how pigmented this was and I don't want to mess it up. How being an ally is a lifelong commitment, you know, just like being a friend is, just like being a daughter is, just like being a wife is. It's a lifelong commitment. And I was burning out and I wasn't doing the movement justice by going, you know, crazy. Creeping conversations into groups and having really constructive dialogue. That's exciting. That's also, you know, a little daunting and can be uncomfortable, but at least having those conversations. This is what I'm talking about. At least having those conversations and knowing that I have you know, kind of understood how much I can put in a day, or like what types of things am I naturally more inclined to, you know, use more energy in versus less energy and things like that. Like I know myself and I know my capacity, and I need to understand that to be a good ally. I can't just, you know, go 100% if my capacity is, you know, 60 at one point. And I definitely am an extrovert, so I do love having conversations. But there's so many, like being an ally is just a title, but the venue and the how is so subjective on your situation, like where you're working, you know, where you live. So that's where I've been. The reason that it took so long for this video to come out is because I was like trying to script it and say everything that I could in this video. Like, oh, like BLM is happening right now, so I shouldn't be posting. Like, BLM is technically going to happen until racism ends, which is not going to happen in my lifetime. So I need to stop overthinking everything and still do my part and use this platform for it. You know, I can still do my YouTube, and I can still do and fulfill my responsibilities while still being an ally. It is not negating the other thing. And that's kind of what I was struggling with, you know, the first couple weeks where I went MIA. I'm grateful that I have a very, very solid group of people that I can lean on when it comes to this kind of stuff. I originally, if you weren't aware, started off in corporate America in the diversity and inclusion space. I was still in marketing, but I was in a unique position because I was able to go to several conferences, meeting so many people in the field, so many people in the HR space, like in terms of corporate, and then also just meeting so many people who are just so well learned in D&I and in socioeconomic issues and things like that. And then the university that I went to was heavily involved in a lot of, you know, racial injustice topics and issues, and always making it available for students to learn about. So I'm very grateful for that. So just being more strategic and understand that, yes, getting mad and getting upset is completely valid in a lot of situations, but I think for something that's so big and so sensitive, I as an ally have to be okay with having long conversations for maybe months or even years on end with people, and I can't get exhausted. You know, I can't expect all my Black friends to keep doing it and then I get exhausted with just a year. You know, like, does that make sense? Like, I feel like that's very lazy, and I feel like that's very irresponsible. So I feel like it just makes sense to conserve energy, be strategic, and do long-term things and not just act whenever things are hype on social media. I was gonna bake, but I kind of just want to set right now. So I put too much powder on this. I'm just trying to like not make a mess as I make a mess. That's fine. So many countries have come together in support of this movement, which makes me so happy, because that again just goes to show that people are understanding that Black Lives Matter. When Black Lives Matter, ultimately everyone will benefit. So it's truly a human movement, you know. Even though I'm an extrovert and I'm a very go person, it was not the time to do that. And you know, that has now been well understood and received from me, and I'm gonna listen to my body and my mind. But at the same time, being an ally is not going to be comfortable. So I'm not saying you have to be completely comfortable. You are going to be in situations that are uncomfortable. We can't always, you know, put so much pressure on us to change everything at once, including ourselves. I mean, again, I'm not sitting here saying I know everything. I'm saying I'm sure someone has tried to explain something to me and I didn't get it in the first try, you know? So I have to have that same mentality being an ally. Like, people are not going to get it in the beginning, and people are going to get it. And just because people get it doesn't mean that the next person's going to get it. Because the whole point of being an ally is not to sit at a table with people that agree with me. It's about sitting at a table with people who disagree with me and still respecting them while still being bold. And I've talked about this in previous videos, but not just as a woman, but as a person, it is 100% possible to be bold while still being a kind person. They don't have to negate each other. They really, really don't. Just realized that a lot of the video, you can only see my eyebrows up. But anyway, yeah, that is kind of the tea with my life. I didn't realize how powerful one person could be unless you become an advocate for something bigger than yourself and people actually listen. And then you unlearn things and you're like, you introspect and you're like, wait, that's right. Like, that's so wrong. And then you think, you're like, wow, I would have never thought that was wrong like 3 months ago. But now I've like taken the time to question my own beliefs and my own inherent biases. And it's like exciting, actually. It's exciting to tell yourself that you're wrong and then find what's actually right, and then vice versa when you are right about something. I mean, the reason I say quotations is because we should always be open-minded, and then you share that new information with someone else and it actually clicks with them. That's exciting. What did I not do yet? Oh my god, I haven't done anything. I haven't like done my lips, I haven't done my eyes, and I have not set my bronzer. Also, I'm just going to put myself on blast real quick. So I have this really bad habit where I pluck my eyelashes. I know it's really gross and really bad. Don't come for me. I'm trying to stop. I don't do it as much as I did it like in middle school and stuff. I've been doing this for a while. So yeah, my lashes, you'll notice, are not as thick, and I do have like a bald spot because I did pluck them like a couple days ago. I know that's really gross, and I'm so sorry if I just grossed you out, but I wanted to let you know because when I put mascara, it's not going to look as like thick. And so just so you're aware. Have you all been able to tell I have tanned? I have been in the sun. So even right now, me bronzing my face, like I'm very tan right now. So I don't need to be bronzed, but obviously when you put, you know how makeup works. So yeah, this brush has been so wonderful. Like sometimes, like even right now, like I just love how it feels on my face, and I love how easily everything blends with it. So I will link it down below for you all if you want to order it online from Target. 10 on 10 recommend. Just tight lining my my upper lash line. Okay, so fun fact, every time I tight line, it's typically because I've plucked my lashes and there are bald spots. I know that's, again, like the weirdest thing ever. I'm gonna try to be in frame, but every time I put mascara, I feel like I have to be like up and close with the mirror. Okay, I know I said I'd do it from afar, but that was not possible. But yeah, as you can see, my lashes look a little thin. I know I'm sad about it too, but now you all know one of my bad habits is that. So now you have the tea on that. I have like this personal goal where I want to save like X amount, and I'm doing pretty good. I'm on track. I'm very proud of myself, and one of the things that has helped me do that is I have this goal where I will only buy makeup once a year. So I already bought makeup this year. I think I bought it back in like February of this year, so I can't buy any makeup until next year. The only thing I'm allowed to buy, like I tell myself I'm allowed to buy, is mascara and lashes, obviously, because you have to buy lashes. But honestly, I haven't been wearing lashes, so yeah, I don't really have too much makeup, honestly, because I kind of wear the same thing. But I ended up throwing a lot of it away because I realized that a lot of my makeup was like over 2 years old or over 3 years old, and I'm not trying to put like, you know, that stuff on my face. So I really now don't have that much. So of course I am having even more technical difficulties, but honestly I don't even care because I've been having the same technical difficulties for the past, like ever since I started YouTube, and I really haven't done anything about it. So this is on me. I need to fix my life, but you guys kind of already saw the face look, so I'm just really doing the lips right now, so not really missing much. Using the liquid lipstick, it's by the Lip Bar, and if you haven't already heard of the Lip Bar, it's an amazing cosmetics line by Melissa Butler, and she has just been killing it in the makeup industry. She is a Black woman, super amazing, super inspirational. She's done so many like you know, talks, and, you know, she's spoken at so many events, and I had the pleasure of meeting her through my old work. And yeah, I just definitely recommend buying the lip bar. It is available in Target, and then if you're from the Detroit area, then of course you can always go to the lip bar in person once COVID ends. But yeah, I love wearing products where I'm seriously, you know, I feel so inspired by the founder, and I feel like they are just people who are, you know, trailblazers. And then of course, like, rep Detroit. Like, this is a Detroit company. You already know I'm gonna be giving them my money. So shameless plug, the lip bar. That's what I'm wearing today. Whew. Is it weird that I'm literally nervous to wear lipstick that's not nude? But this is vegan also, and I have tried it on myself, and it doesn't look bad. It just looks different because I'm not used to wearing red lipstick. So let's do this. Bad. I know, like, when you put, you know, like, very bright colors on your lips, you know, to clean it up with concealer, but honestly, I don't feel like it, even though it's kind of messy, but it's fine. But yeah, let's get a little bit of a close-up. I like it. It looks good. I got any on my teeth. This is a trick. And it takes all the lipstick off from your lips where it would have gotten, oops, on your teeth. So I'm kind of feeling it. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, baby, let me see it. I just wanna eat it. Baby, let me see it. No, I really need it. Oh, baby, let me see it. I just wanna eat it.